Hello everyone, welcome back. So I've just implemented another feature and I will show you how I've done it for this one. So going back to our application, so this now is already running. I'm just gonna demo that feature that I've just completed. So this one is when you want to add, remove or update headers. So headers would mean like request header or a content header. So like for this one, let's say you want to add accept. Okay, then set the value, and when you hit enter, then it will get added to our list of headers. So you can add more. Okay, and then another one. Okay, so also you can also remove headers. So you can just click this X icon here or button, then it will remove that header. And you can also change or update your uh, current header. Okay, so like that. So behind the scenes, it keeps track of the different headers that you've added, removed, or updated. Okay, so let's jump into the code on how I did this one. All right. So first off, what I did is that I have did some refactoring on how I handled the different parameters. So first off is I've added a new class. So I broke it down into separate classes. So it has this parent class which is request parameter, which would contain again your basic properties of key and value. And from there, now I've subclass two different uh, parameters here or classes. So the first one would be the query string parameter. So moving from the previous class, which is just the query string parameter, now I've inherited it from the query parameter. Okay, so now it has that same parent class. So just to get a distinction of the different parameters that we are passing into our request. So the second one would be another class, which is header parameter. Now this one would be the class that would contain our request headers, either content or general request headers. So again, inheriting from the request parameter, and there's another additional property here, which is the header type. So the header type would identify a specific header, whether it's content or just your general request header. All right. So now that I have this refactoring of our classes, I've added a new component which would now contain our main request headers component, which is this one. Okay, much like what we did with the query params one. So with this one, it's a bit much simpler as compared to the uh, it's sorry the query parameters component one, since it has a smaller number of events. So now compared to the query params component one, which has three different events, it only has now a single event, which is the on param added. Because since we're passing in a list of header parameters, then behind the scenes we don't need to emit some other events, because the data binding will do its job of syncing the data from your parent component to this child component. Okay, so going back, so the main uh, methods here would be this add header. Okay, so the add header would pass in your key value, the header that was selected from this autocomplete control, and then set that the value, and then uh, return that or emit that as an event, or I mean as a data from your on param added event. Okay, and then clearing the autocomplete and this text box. The delete header would be simple also, passing in the header parameter and then removing that one. Update header would be receiving a parameter and then updating the selected header. which is stored as key, and then its value, which would be set as the header type. Okay. And then I think, yeah, update value, again, very simple, just updating the value of the header parameter. And then the same thing with the search function. So when you look at this example, when you type in this, it shows you the matching items. So it functions much like the same as what we did on the query params component. No, we don't do that. But what we did here is that we've assigned the search function so that we search for the input from this autocomplete control, and then from there we just query whatever content. I mean, whatever request header matches the passed in value, and then we just return a list or an enumerable of key value pairs. Okay. So it's the code is quite simple, really. So basically, this component handles all of the tracking of your request parameters. Okay. And from there, it's as easy as mapping the, let's say, when you want to do the actual request. So what's missing with this one is that uh, we are yet to hook the added request headers to our uh, request, or either the get request or the post request. So that will come up next, which is aside from that, we will also work on passing in the body of the request, either JSON format or in XML format, which are those two very common payloads or body content that is getting passed for your request, especially when you're doing post request. Okay. So I think that's what I want to discuss for this one as an update to our application, and I hope to finish this application soon so that we have uh, we have completed our attempt of creating a Postman clone using Blazor. So yeah, what remains is hooking up the or passing in the payload through this body text box, and then completing our flow of making API request, whether it's get or post. Okay. And so, yeah, I think that concludes my uh, discussion for this one. And yeah, stay tuned for our next episode. And yeah, I hope to see you soon again, everyone. Have a wonderful day and see you in our next episode. Bye, everyone.